Welcome to the Convention Creators podcast where we take you behind the scenes of the creative and convention business.
Yes, that made sense. I am the Petty Bear, and I am back with more hammer, and with more finger pointing, and with more be embarrassed, because we're about to do more Am I the Asshole thingies from Reddit, I think. I don't fucking know. I don't do social media.
And I'm Jay Bear, and yes, as PP just said, we are going to go into the depths of Reddit to find some more horrendous stories from the world of conventions, and we're going to pass judgment, because that's what we feel entitled to do right now.
100%. And can you tell that this is the first time we're doing an impromptu intro? Well done. Let's go, 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 go.
Here we are. It's another episode of the podcast. Welcome along, everyone. You are here, you're listening, you're watching, and we are, yes, by popular demand, we are back for another Reddit episode. You really enjoyed the last one. I really enjoyed the last one.
I loved the last one. I especially loved that we had like 1,000 views on YouTube in the first, 24 hours? It was crazy.
It was so crazy. It would seem that our discussion of Reddit has made its way to Reddit. We seem to have found people are finding their way to our Reddit videos directly from threads on there. So,
are people posting our episode on Reddit because we're talking about Reddit?
I'm guessing so. I don't know for certain, but it's my only assumption. Because when you look at traffic sources, it doesn't say specific threads or anything. So.
Well, if you're here from Reddit, let us know, because we have no idea who's posting that.
We don't know.
Amazing.
Like, we had a comment on the last one time we did this, and it was like, comment if you're here from Reddit. And I'm like, wait, what? What's happening?
Being exposed.
Also, I feel very validated that in general, I think everyone agreed with our judgments last time. I think the general consensus
100%.
was that we were pretty spot on, because we always are. We always are with this sort of thing.
100%. Though the biggest feedback that I received was how your edits made the episode. Everyone just laughed along, and they were taken out twice, once with Cher, and the other time with listening to me laugh like a squeegee rolling on a windowsill. That's great. Fucking amazing.
Still so good. Yes, we saw all the comments and feedback, and it is greatly appreciated. And obviously, we always say, like, please tell us what you think, leave comments and stuff, because we want the feedback to know what to do. And this is a great example of it. You said you loved it, so here we are doing another one. This time, we are exploring a whole variety of different subjects in the world of Reddit. We are looking at not only Reddit stories posted by artists, we're looking at Reddit stories posted by convention goers, and we're even looking at Reddit stories posted by people helping traders. So...
Scary. Scary.
So I reckon we get straight into it. And our first one is, you know what? Let's do the artist one first. This one is again from Am I the Arsehole? And it's titled, Am I the Arsehole for telling more skilled artists that I don't want to get on their level? Let's go. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where this goes.
Jamie, where do you find these people?
They read. I'm reading from my iPad today. We're going full Reddit YouTuber for this one.
Let's do it.
I've been doing digital art as a hobby for years. I never trained formally or study fine arts. I just like drawing cute, cartoony stuff. I used to post everything online for free, just for fun. Over time, though, I have built up a bit of a following online. Recently, I started a Patreon. The deal is, people pay me a monthly fee, and in return, each person gets exclusive content, including custom drawings. To my surprise, since I started it, over 500 people signed up, which is bringing me a very good income. I can finish a
Okay.
drawing in around 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
so I work full time on it now. Usually 3 to 5 drawings a day, every single day, so I've quit my day job and this is what I do now.
Okay.
I've also been part of a local art club for a long time now. I've
Mm-hmm.
only been the hobbyist there. Everyone else
Mm-hmm.
went to art school and is trying to get jobs in studios or work for
Okay.
games or movies. The general vibe of the group is always be training, and photorealism is the goal. They
Yes.
often treat me like a kid playing with crayons just because I focus on cartoon styles instead of real art.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, the topic of training came up, and I said that I don't really have time to train right now because of my Patreon schedule. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with where my art is at. One of the members, George, name and shame, totally lost it. He said any artist who stops training is a failure, and that every artist should be doing at least 6 hours of training a day. I,
Wanker.
it's,
What a wanker.
I told him I'm just doing my thing. But then he started harshly critiquing my latest pieces, without being asked. He called
Mm-hmm.
my colours muddy, my style childish, the autonomy atrocious, and even said I was ripping people off by passing this off as art. Two
Oh.
other members chimed in, and they all said I should stop making Patreon content and focus on developing my skills. George ended it with, if you
Oh.
ever want, you need to do this if you ever want to get on our level. That's when I snapped. I raised my voice and said, no, I don't want to get on your level. You'll earn less than $1,000 combined on Patreon. Maybe you should try getting on my level. Slay. That's when. That's when.
It is. That's such a slay. Crazy.
That's when everyone, even the ones who stayed out of it until then, turned on me. I got called arrogant, smug, stupid, egotistical, all because I pointed out that I'm literally the only one in this group actually making a living from art. My point wasn't that I'm better than them, but I just wanted to say I do my own thing. It's not academic, maybe it's not polished, but people like it, they pay for it, and it pays my bills, and I'm proud of it. So stop talking down to me. George's whole thing is that if you're not devoting your soul to the art form, in his case photorealism, you're not a real artist.
Mm.
Things ended badly. I walked out, and I don't think I'm ever going to go back. I'm
You
pretty
shouldn't.
sure I burned that bridge, but honestly, I'm not
Don't need it.
sure I care. So, am I the arsehole?
Nope.
Can you
Are
imagine?
they the asshole for telling you how your artist experience should be? Like literally half
Right?
the internet nowadays? Yes, they are the asshole. You are
It
not the
is.
asshole, good sir.
It is wild to me that people would. Obviously, you've been doing art a long time. Is
Yeah.
that common that people are
It
that?
actually is. When I was growing up and I was trying to get into the art scene altogether, there were a lot of people who, from teachers to peers, especially when I still lived in Malta, and this is kind of giving me a little bit of like village club vibes, which you know, where I had a teacher rip up my artwork during a class because I decided to tackle a topic in a more cartoony and anime kind of way, and he asked me once or twice not to bring anime to the classroom, and I thought it was appropriate for the subject matter. And he ripped up the artwork and he said, there is no future in this. You are not going to improve by doing bad anatomy because by like still life and live object drawing and live figure drawing standards, anime characters or cartoon characters are ill proportionate. You know,
Yeah.
it is part of it. But he didn't see it that way. He thought that I was wasting my time. I have encountered many people who try to tell me how art needs to be done, but more so when I was starting in my career. I think it is very important for any artist to understand that your artist journey is your own, and how you go about it, it's all about you. It's all you. It is, you know, there's certain things that we don't do, you know,
Yeah.
but beyond that, in this case, in this particular case, I think they were very much threatened by the fact that this person was potentially. I have theories, right?
Okay.
I have theories. So my theory is that, firstly, these trained people, if they do have Patreons, just like he said, or she said, whatever, they were probably asking for a more elevated price, right? Because for someone to be offering essentially cheap commissions per
Yeah.
month and getting about 500 people asking
Yeah.
for recurring exclusive content that is custom designed,
Yeah.
then they're, in my head right now, I think they have like a £5 Patreon for a piece,
Yeah.
and £5 times 500 gives you a livable wage.
Yeah.
But you need to do 500
Yeah.
drawings in a month.
Yes.
Do I think that is smart? No.
No.
100% no. But obviously, if that is what you were doing, Jamie, and you were making a living out of it, who am I to say that you're doing it wrong?
Yeah.
Right?
This is the thing. This is very much the thing, because it all just stems from, just reeks of just jealousy. It all just stems from jealousy.
100%.
And this, how dare I've put all this work in? How dare they walk on in, and in their eyes do better? And it's like, that's the wrong way to approach anything, really. I think I'm glad she stood her ground, or they stood their ground, and they were like, I love the idea of being like, maybe I don't want to get on your level because your level seems to suck right now. And I like, but I also find it interesting. There's this art club of people that are little Patreons. And there's this one person just killing it, and they're like, "Yeah, but you're not a real artist, are you?" The idea of basically being told you're not a real artist is triggering.
The 6 hours a day drawing is such an ancient mentality. It is literally an ancient mentality. And I cannot tell you how much burnout you get. How much burnout you get out of doing something like that, for the sake of drawing, rather than drawing through passion, or,
Yeah.
practicing 6 hours a day is not really going to do anything, especially if you don't do something with intended purpose. Like if I'm studying a new technique and I do it for X amount of time a day,
Yeah.
yes, but if I'm just drawing the same old shit, and it does sound like this person is technically drawing for more than 6 hours a day. So
This
I
is
don't
the thing.
particularly understand their point. They just wanted to make this person feel like what you're doing is wrong. We know better. We feel we are better than you. However, you're making the money, so we're going to shit on you, basically.
Yeah. It's this thing of like, when you see someone in the world doing better than you in a similar field, there's numerous approaches you could take, but one could be, oh, that's going to challenge me to what do I need to do to step my game up so that I come up to their level, because I want to be at their level. They take the approach of, no, what I need to do is drag them down to below mine. And it's that, so it's because both results would be either being at the same level or maybe you edging forward, but the approach is always about, no, I need to drag this person back rather than me pushing myself forward.
Okay, so this is probably going to be like the hot take of the episode, right?
Okay. Oh god.
This
Here
is
we
the
go.
hot take of the episode. This is the same with literally everything that is going on right now in the art scene, including the massive AI debacle, right? All of it. If you spent the same amount of time bitching at people or complaining about this, he used this, he does that, his art style is this, he works on that, he references too much, he uses those assets, he uses AI art, blah, 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 and focus on your own work, maybe you will improve enough to not care about other people.
Yeah.
Why do you have enough free time to look at what other people are doing? Why? How is your
That's
day
it.
not busy? You know? How do you have the time and energy to spend it looking at what other people are doing and complain about it when how are you not working on your own shit? How are you not improving yourself instead of minding someone else's business? How is you're wasting your time telling other people how they should do their own craft
Yeah.
helping you, other than making you look like a total bellend?
Which is exactly what it is. It's a perfect example of when someone should be embarrassed because
First
it's
on, be embarrassed.
it is that.
Facts.
It's like literally like that whole group of people, and I will give you some ideas of what people in the comments of this Reddit thread said. One person said, "How many Patreon creators does it take to change a light bulb? 100. One to actually change a light bulb, and 99 to say they could have done it better. You're not the asshole. Your artist group are a bunch of green-eyed hacks who intentionally want to tear you down for your success. Keep doing your own thing." It's very much.
Fact.
And
Fact.
yeah. One person says, "You're not the asshole at all. I am going to advise this to you right now. Save this post and start collating a list of things they said to you just in case they decide to do something vindictive, like expose you to your Patreon followers or make you lose the money. Loads of people in the art community like to sabotage each other. If you have any solid proof,
Facts.
like text or anything you can remember, your conversations word to word, just keep it. Just keep the receipts ready one day in case you need it." Maybe I'm being paranoid, but I have seen this happen way too often. A few of my
Facts.
friends lost all their followers to this elitist arseholes when they defended themselves. And before they could put out proof that they had done nothing wrong and that they were the victim, they had already lost a significant following. That's crazy. I read that
Savage.
comment because I read that and I was like, that is
Savage.
savage. Savage. And there are a lot of people replying to that comment being like, yeah, I've seen that happen. Like,
Yeah.
you need to look after yourself. Like,
It's crazy. It's crazy. There's so many people with literally nothing better to do than to try and tear someone down. And it doesn't matter if the person you're trying to tear down deserves it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Another person says, "Hi, I'm a professional artist who did all the art school thing. George is a grade A arsehole. That attitude is hella obnoxious and very gatekeepery. There are lots of artists who live professional lives without having been to art school." Use the
Triggered.
gatekeeper word. "There are lots of us who do not spend 6 hours a day training because, like you, we actually work. Next time George pulls that stunt, tell him real artists treat every new project like it's training. They're all new learning opportunities every time they start a new piece of art."
100%.
Yeah, and I was like, exactly. That is exactly
Yeah.
this idea of like you're not training. It's like, well,
This is
What
the
does that-
thing. What did he even mean? Like, what do you want people to do for training?
like, are you meaning they're not need to be studying more, or doing specific like? I don't know. I obviously don't work in this specific field of art. I don't do art, but
I
like,
feel like what they're trying to do is saying that they need to refine what they're working on to match more what they envision in their heads as proper art,
yeah,
right?
I think-
so. Follow tutorials, do this, do that. Stop doing your silly little cartoons because that's hobbycraft anyway.
not the hobbycraft.
Triggered. Same energy here. Same energy. I am better than you because what you're doing is hobbycraft. Same energy.
It's literally the same energy, and it's actually quite triggering to think about.
It's triggering because you know that this is an artist telling another artist that what they do is less than.
And
People
it
are
disappoints.
assholes.
They are, and it just disappoints me that. I know it's very much a reality. It just disappoints me that a creative community of all are still going to be ones who, as like I said, they literally do gatekeep what they define as valid creative work and what doesn't count. And I think the entitlement is crazy. It is crazy entitlement.
I will say, though, just to play devil's advocate,
Okay.
I would still take everything that he said on board, right? I would make a mental list, and if there's anything that was mentioned at all that I think would improve my work, I would go ahead and try and improve on it. I'll explain why. I had a massive hard time getting into the t-shirt industry, mostly because, as you know, I draw very cute kawaii things. And for a older gentleman, I guess, I have always been a little bit older than the trending era of artists that are online because I'm in that weird in between. And I was told because I'm too old, my face is not sellable as an artist because what I draw is seen as a little bit more infantile and childlike. So therefore, if I had been maybe 10 years younger, I would be more marketable. I have been told that because I am not a stereotypical Twinkie gay man, that my work is too femme for how masculine I present. And again, therefore, they couldn't have it on their website because I'm just not aesthetically RuPaul Drag Race, oh, slay, yes, right? Kind of gay. And therefore, they didn't want any of my Sailor Moon art because it's just not marketable. There were a variety of reasons. However, when I was like, okay, so if it wasn't me, right? If it was like a VTuber type scenario, what is wrong with my art? And they still found stuff, and it was brutal to listen to. Your lines are too this, your thing is too that, this is too complicated for t-shirts, this is too muddy. When you said too muddy, literally what I had been told, right? And after I licked my wounds, I went back and I fixed all the things that they said that they thought my art wasn't up to snuff to.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped shape my art style, actually. Because once I did apply the changes that I thought were fitting based on their comments, it came into its own a lot more. And now my colors are anything but muddy. But yeah, I think Silver Linings, she, they, sorry, I apologize, rubbish. I definitely think that they should at least take mental note of the feedback that they were given, and see if it can somehow help improve their work a little bit. I'm not saying that it should, and I'm not saying that they have to improve their work, but obviously, if you're doing more than 500 commissions every month, your work is improving anyway.
I was going to say, like, it has to be. Like,
right?
You just physically have to be. Like,
exactly.
I would say, like, for my work, like the video editing, like, I have really increased the amount of throughput I do in terms of video editing since, I'd say, around November. And I have not consciously done any training on it. I have not sought out any specific skills or anything, but I can safely say between now and there, I can say I've noticed an improvement because different ideas get inspired. You're like, oh, I wonder how I tackle this, and you just pick up skills naturally.
Exactly.
Through practice, through doing, basically.
Your 6 hours a day.
Exactly. So Final verdict then. Are they the asshole?
The people in the little cult artist club are the asshole. You are. My God, I almost pulled the microphone on the floor. You are not the asshole. No. The others, be embarrassed.
Be embarrassed. Be so embarrassed.
I'm making the sound effect for you. You don't even have to edit it. Your life is so comfortable.
See, so much easier for me. I'll do one quick thing. Alexa, turn on ceiling light. The sun is setting.
Oh my God, she is so bright.
Oh, Alexa, set ceiling light to like 60%.
Who
That's
said
better.
I'm not gay? You know what I mean? Not gay enough. Yeah.
That was almost as flamboyant a hand gesture as that idol pose in that game that they've been playing on Discord. Yeah, they're like, every time I see it, I can just hit, in my head, I just hear like bones clicking every time they do it.
Oh my God, if anyone is watching this, who do you think this character is? That's it. That's all we're going to say.
Put your answer in the comments below. Are you ready for your next Am I the Arsehole story?
I am ready to slay the house down boots.
Yes, mama God. Right, so... I should be embarrassed. We are now delving into a Reddit story from an attendee of conventions this time. Okay.
Come on.
And this one,
attendee, come true.
This one is titled, Am I the Asshole for being upset that my friend went to MCM London without me? It's the way, it's good.
Oh my God. Imagine this is happening right now. Okay. Someone's on Reddit right now writing it and we're reading it.
Picture the scene right now. Yeah. Theatre of the mind. Right. Here we go. I have been going to MCM London every year with my friend for a long, long time. But this May, he refused to take me.
Oh, what did you do?
I have mild autism, and my friend knows this. He usually books the hotel, and we split the cost. We don't live anywhere near London. I'd say about 400 miles away. So if we can't get a hotel or Airbnb, we basically can't go. When May's MCM was coming up, I asked my friend if he was going. He said yes. I asked if I could go too, and he said, if you can find accommodation this close to the event, then sure. I asked about going with him, and he said no.
Oh.
When I asked why, he pretty much spat venom towards me.
Oh.
He said, last October, I told you I'd pick you up at 7 p.m, but when I got there, you had nothing ready and you took literally 2 hours to get ready. I had to change my plans to accommodate that. I should have fucking gone without you. Then you had the nerve to pressure me to trade my weekend ticket for your Friday and Sunday. Plus, you didn't even pay until after the event, even though you had like £400 in your pocket that your rich dad gave you.
What the fuck?
For context.
Oh, hold on. This became confusing. Are they a couple?
Just friends. Close friends.
That's a lot of intense detail. And all... What? Okay. The friend is the asshole already, but proceed.
For context, our bus wasn't set to leave until 9:45 p.m, but my friend wanted to get there really early, but I needed to finish packing. He planned to leave his car in town and walk to the station. Instead, we got a lift from my brother straight there, so me being late wasn't an issue. As for trading tickets, my friend had a cosplay photo shoot planned on the Saturday at the hotel, but he told me I couldn't be in the room, even though he knew I didn't have a Saturday ticket. I thought it made sense to trade so I could be at the con while he was busy doing the photo shoot at the hotel. He didn't seem thrilled, but I convinced him. He said he was pissed because if we hadn't swapped, he could have gone to the con after the shoot. But again, if I couldn't be in the hotel room, I didn't have a con ticket, where was I supposed to go? As for not paying till after, he knew the money I had with me was for spending at the con. He refused to see if he could amend his hotel booking to make it for 2 and went without me. When he got back and I confronted him, he told me to come ask here on Reddit, am I the asshole? So, fuck. There's a lot going on in that one.
The goal to be like, okay, ask credit. I hope he knows what a massive mistake he made.
So it is interesting because I don't know, because do you say that because you are so convinced that this person is the asshole? They're like, go ask the internet. Let the internet school you on what an asshole you are, that you can't see for yourself. Because surely they wouldn't send you to the internet to ask if you thought for a moment that you were in the wrong.
Oh, he's sure. The friend is sure that he's in the right.
Yeah.
The friend is obviously, potentially upset with a lot of micro things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that year was the year that he had decided, this is it. I'm not doing this again.
I'm done with it, yeah.
Right? But instead of approaching it in a adult way, he was a twat.
Yeah.
Right? He could have helped his friend be like, I'll help you find accommodation, but I don't want to share anymore.
I think, see, I was in two minds when I originally found the story. Because one, I thought, you know what, if I was traveling with a friend, and that I'm assuming this isn't the first time this sort of thing happened, if it got to a point where he said I'm not doing it again. Yeah. But the last time I was like, I said we needed to meet at a specific point because I'm the one traveling, so this is the plan we need to make, and you weren't ready for 2 hours. That I would say that is frustrating. And then the issue with the tickets and stuff, I don't agree that they should have swapped tickets. Like if they didn't want you in the hotel room to the photo shoot, where could I have gone? It's London. You find something to do. You're fine. Like for the time the photo shoot's going on.
Not really. No, that's not fair. Because if I plan a photo shoot, but I'm sharing the room with you, and I'm asking you to fuck on off because I have a photo shoot in the hotel room that we're sharing, I need to find a way for you to be entertained. I'm not going to tell you, oh, you're not at the event, but you're also not in the room that you paid for. So figure your shit out. What he could have done is been like, yeah, I'll give you my lanyard, because that's what it is generally. Yeah. You can go in, and then you can give it back to me, and I can hang out for the rest of the day, and you can stay outside in the green.
I still think in general they had enough grounds to be like, I don't want to travel with you again. That's fair. I don't want to go on.
Not much of a friend, though, to be honest.
True, but each their own. Where this friend lost me completely, though, and I was like, oh, actually, you're being a bit of an ass, is one, the way he spoke to them and explained the situation. So condescending. But then also
rich dad comment.
The rich dad comment, yes. Like, oh, but you had £400 in your pocket that your rich dad gave you. That one is just rude. Very rude. That was rude. That was very fucking rude. But also the fact that obviously if someone's bringing that amount of money to a con, it's clearly there to be spent at, like, I don't understand what their confusion was on that. Like, if someone's bringing, oh, I brought money along to MCM London, it goes without saying they won't just carry it. I just fancy carrying £400 on me and then taking it back home. Like, it was clearly there to be spent while they were there. It wasn't to cover anything else. And I feel like, I don't know, like, because if they had said, oh, I'm bringing this money to pay, you would have already arranged that beforehand, surely. If you have an agreement set up where you said, like, we're going to split the costs, for me anyway, if it's split the costs, there's usually, even if it's not a specific date, there's a vague idea of when.
So if we're going to MCM, right, and I paid for everything, I've paid for, I don't know if you're aware, it's about £120 for the tickets, right?
Yeah.
So I would have paid about, what, 240 or less, because one of them had 1 day less, right? So that's already one. And then he did all the booking for the hotel. And he did all the preparation and train tickets and so on. And he hadn't paid him back yet, right? What money do you expect me to have to go to MCM and actually buy stuff myself if you haven't paid me back yet? Why are you not giving me that money before the event?
But I feel like
it's logical.
I feel that's a
So that
conversation
was
we've had.
it is definitely. But also, if you have £400 in your hand and you know that you're there with someone who you owe money, who spent all their money to get you there, probably it is like, it is common sense to be like, oh, I probably should pay you back before spending money on stuff.
So, who is the asshole in this story?
Oh, no, no. The asshole is still the guy that is essentially trying to use this as a teachable moment and be like, oh, go to Reddit. I'm going to try and humiliate you online after not taking you to the con, right? Because all of the things that that person felt, I think, were discussable and valid to a point.
Yeah.
But the way they went about it, complete asshole. And that's what makes an asshole. An asshole isn't particularly the actual action.
That's
It is
true.
how you go
That
about
is
it.
very true.
Right?
Because, it's such a complicated story because I'll be honest, I don't know if I'd want to be friends with either of them. Because one person seems very, seems very, I don't know. There's some parts of one person's story that I'm like, you could have approached this better, and then the other person who just dealt with it terribly and was just a complete dick about the whole situation. And I'm just like, okay, well, you could maybe you both need a teachable moment from this. Yeah, and this is the reality. Like, you go with someone every year, and then 1 year. This is the only thing. The other thing I don't like about this
Yep.
is if you go to a event together all the time, and then a year later, you say, "Oh, you haven't, what's going on? You haven't mentioned anything," and they basically go, "Are we sorting out? Can we go?" And their response is like, "Well, if you sort your own accommodation out, I guess." Like, that's a weird way to respond. Just say what you're thinking. But then also, they've obviously made that decision, hung on to it for that whole time, and never felt the need. Like, didn't say anything after the event. Like, that was really shitty. They've waited until it had to be forced out into the open to go, I've held on to this for like 12 months, and now I'm gonna bring it all up. And it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. It
is a lot.
Can you, for curiosity's sake, read out the replies?
Yes, so we have a few different ones. So one person said, "You are the arsehole. Your friend had valid reasons not wanting to travel with you again. You were unprepared, pressured him into swapping tickets, and delayed payment. It's understandable he wouldn't want to repeat that experience." Okay. Another person says,
right there.
Another person says, "You are the arsehole. You seem to lack awareness of how your actions affect others. Your friend isn't obligated to accommodate you, especially after
He's
past
autistic.
issues."
They're autistic and they lack awareness. Oh my god. Groundbreaking. Another asshole in the comments. Yeah, go on.
Another person says, "Not the arsehole. While you may have made some mistakes, your friend could have communicated his concerns
100%.
more constructively. Excluding you entirely seems a bit harsh." Another person says, "Not the arsehole. Friendships involve understanding and forgiveness. It's unfortunate your friend chose to go without you instead of discussing the issues beforehand."
Yeah.
And I do agree with that one because they made a decision without even having that conversation, because they could have worked it out potentially. You don't know. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, it's not a dry. There's not a consensus on this one. It is a very mixed range of opinions, which is quite curious to me, because they're not all just like, yeah, definitely the arsehole. Usually, it's quite obvious who is and who isn't based on just reading the comments. But people seem a little bit like, oh, we don't know.
Mixed bag.
Yes. And I guess because that's how I feel about it as well, to be honest.
Interesting. I think that neither of them is ideal.
Yeah.
However, we, as people who are neurodivergent ourselves, I think we are surrounded by other people who are equally neurodivergent, and we understand what it is like for someone to lack self-awareness, right? We also know what it's like to be the person in the group that doesn't do the bookings, that doesn't do the planning phase of something. And these dynamics happen. So I don't know. It is strange to me the way the alleged friend decided to tackle the situation. I feel like first they didn't tell them that they're not going to take them because they didn't want to be a part of the confrontation. And then instead of tackling the topic nicely or politely or in any way friendly, for that matter, they decided to throw them a sea of insults and take out grievances that they had been waiting for a full half a year or full year to do. So it's a little bit crazy. It does sadden me that the majority of the answers were "you are the asshole" because that proves the point to the friend.
Yes.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be the person reading these comments back. I would find it very like, I see why he made me do this.
Yeah. Mostly because Reddit is full of cunts. But we will... Fact is just more fucking people being like... Oh, yeah. But we will go with the... neither of them are an angel in this situation. They both dealt with the situation quite badly. And just do better. Bah, bah. Be embarrassed. Be embarrassed.
Oh, they both got to be embarrassed. That's embarrassing, really, to be honest.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day, if I really wanted to go to an event, right, and my friend isn't taking me, I would just find a way to go.
Yeah.
Right? Ask another friend for help. You've been going to MCM for long enough, you must know other people who are going.
Yeah.
If dad is giving you money, why can't you just ask, can you help me out with finding a way to get there and hotels because I haven't done this before, please?
Yeah.
And just be there on your own.
Yeah.
You went on that Saturday on your own, why can't you go for the full weekend?
Yeah.
I'm confused. I don't understand what most of the point of this was, other than these two friends are kind of toxic to each other.
Basically. Very much that, actually. Basically a case of like, oh, maybe it wasn't a good friendship to have anyway. Maybe this is a good sign.
It doesn't feel like it. And for those two people who commented on, oh yeah, you swayed him into giving you a ticket, exchanged your ticket, well, maybe you need to understand that that photo shoot shouldn't have happened in the hotel room. Because it is something that both of them paid for. Also,
True.
what fucking photo shoot for cosplay with a man is happening in, or a woman? I'm sorry, what photo shoots are happening
in hotel rooms?
Unless it's for OnlyFans. Be honest.
Well, because my question was, so what photo shoot would be happening that they weren't allowed to be in the same room?
It's definitely, it sounds lewd as fuck, to be honest, right? But again, if it's a photo shoot, why can't they be in the room? This was no photo shoot, it was some con shag.
You know what? That might be tea. That might be some con
shag, and the shag didn't go well, and they're all the more upset. Crazy.
I think that's what it is. I think
because who would be upset at if I'm telling you I need a room for a fair few hours in the day? Why? I don't get it. Also, if these people have gone to MCM for a fair amount of times, you know that there's more activity outside than inside. Right? And this is something you will learn. Like, DXL on the outside is so inundated by people and cosplayers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people buy the ticket and then spend a lot of their time outside taking photos.
Yeah.
Right? So why not just do that for the day? Why did they have to switch tickets?
It does. None of it makes sense. None of it makes
None
sense.
of it. It's all very childish. You're both children. Pa pa. Grow up. Pa and be embarrassed. Pa pa.
Come back to us when you've matured and learned from your
Oh my
behavior.
god. And find someone else to get your hotels for you. Don't rely on your friend. Your friend is not your partner. Because clearly he's shagging someone else.
Clearly. But not for very long. Is he not for long enough that he still wanted his day ticket.
No, no. He's even poor in bed. Wow. 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 Crazy.
On that curious note, we're going to take a quick break and then come back and look at some Am I the Arsehole stories written by convention helpers.
Let's go, 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 go. I'm very excited.
And we're back. We're here for more Am I the Arsehole Reddit stories, this time wearing a very cute t-shirt. And we are looking at two different kind of ones. The first one is from people who aren't necessarily trading themselves. So
Okay.
this one caught my interest just because based on the title purely, which is Am I the Arsehole for walking out of a convention after my best friend told me to get fucked?
I am ready. Where is the tea? Give me the tea. This tea's scalding. Go for it. Go for it.
So, this weekend, I went to help my very best friend, we're both in our 20s, run their table at a convention. They're a professional artist and take their business really seriously, which I totally respect. I've never worked a con before, but I was excited to help out and be supportive. We met at the venue and I helped unload their stuff from the car. Straight off, I could tell they were in work mode, which is fine, but I kept asking what I could do, and they acted like I should just know what to do, even though I had never done this before. For example, they gave me some boxes of buttons and told me to put them on the table. I opened the boxes and saw several different designs and trays, and it wasn't clear how they wanted them to be displayed, so I asked for help. They seemed frustrated, but walked me through it. Okay, cool. I asked if there was anything else I needed to know to do this, and they said no. That's the key part, I think, for this story. A bit later, they came over and got annoyed because I had used the wrong trays. They're colour-coded, apparently, based on product. And I had placed the fandoms of the buttons in the wrong order on the table. None of that had been explained, and I did point that out. They basically sighed and told me to stop, and they would give me a simpler job. That felt a bit patronising, but I let it go. The new job was to put out some bracelets. There wasn't any obvious order or instructions, other than putting them in a tray and putting them on a display. But after the button thing, I really didn't want to mess it up again. So I went over and asked if the display needed to be in a specific order. I thought that was a reasonable question, given how stressed they were before. They snapped at me, like properly snapped, rolled their eyes, walked over and just said, "Did I tell you it had to go in a specific order? No. Then just stick the stupid things out." I told them they didn't have to be rude about it, and that I was just trying to be careful since they seemed annoyed before. And they just exploded and said, "If you can't even do this, and if you can't hack it, then why don't you just go and get fucked?" Right in front of another artist they were talking to. I was mortified, I walked out, and I didn't come back. They texted me later saying they were stressed and I shouldn't take it personally, but honestly, I don't know if I want to speak to them again.
Don't.
I was trying to help. I didn't expect to get screamed at for asking clarifying questions, but I do understand they were under pressure and maybe I was just making things harder. Am I the arsehole for walking out and not coming back after they had told me to get fucked?
I will say this.
Go for it.
New people helping you at events are never help.
No, that's true. I would agree.
They will mostly get in your way, slow you down, and the questions as much as people think that they're doing a nicety by trying to be involved, it only makes it worse because you're stopping the flow of us setting up by asking a million questions. There's only one question you need to ask, and that is, do you have a photo of the things you want me to put down? And then if you can't follow a photo, then you just really should get fucked. You know what I mean? But that said, if you're taking someone new to a convention with you, there are so many ways to just say, actually, I've got this. Please have a seat because I think I can get it done faster because I know where everything goes, right?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
option one.
Yeah.
Option two is preparing photos of how things need to be done and be like, yep, can you do the bracelets? This is how I've done them before. You can just zoom in and that is how you see them there. The order of things, again, look at the badge buttons. This is how I've done them before. Have a gander at that. And then go back and do a little tidy if need be. But nah. Dodge the bullet. This friend is a asshat. God. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Like, at what point did the underdog artist become the... This is becoming a fucking recurring thing, too. The entitlement.
It's very diva-ish behaviour.
It is very diva. It is very diva.
And obviously,
diva.
I'm from the perspective of someone as a helper. And, like, I know what you said about, like, when you have someone come along for the first time, they aren't help. And that was the reality, because, like, when I first came to help set up, for example, I had literally no point of reference. I had no idea. And it probably did mean that I probably asked more questions than I usually would, because I was literally like, I don't know. I don't know how we do things here. But at the same time, in our situation, like, you were very graceful and, like, answered my questions. You explained what I needed to know, and if you saw that anything was going awry, you in a direct but polite way told me what I needed to do differently. And it meant, because of that, and because you didn't tell me to get fucked, for example, that
Crazy.
when I was there the next time, and that I was able to get on with stuff easier because I had already had a point of reference, because I had done it before, so some of that was in my memory. The idea that this artist would give you a task and putting out buttons or whatever, and then clearly they have an idea of what their stuff looks like. If they say, like, okay, this product goes in this color thing and all these products go in this color thing, that's great. No one's a mind reader. Like, you can't just expect people to know this sort of stuff. And again, like you said, if you're not providing a visual reference, then you do need to verbalize it. And then
having photo references of everything, where it goes, in a separate folder on your phone for whenever someone is helping you out, that is key. Trust.
It is. It's just injury obvious, and it's just crazy that this person. The only thing I don't know, if you have someone who's, because again, when people go to these things, they are going as a business. You're trading. Even if you're bringing a friend, that you are sort of bringing them as an employee, in a sense that, like, they're there to do your business to help your business, to, like, work for you, basically. And we've had conversations in previous episodes of, like, how that payment is arranged, and, like you said, there's different ways that can be sorted. Actually, at the previous Reddit episode, we had a topic on that exact thing.
Yeah.
Does someone going on setup day and saying peace out, fuck off, are they, in a way, do they have any obligation in terms of the business side of it to be like, well, you agreed? Or do you think, no, if you're going to be that rude, you have every right to just say, you're on your fucking own now, good luck?
Oh, fuck yes. 100%. 100%. If I treated anyone in that manner, I would not expect them. The only courtesy I would have maybe considered in this case is if this friend that walked out was also the driver of a vehicle, and then that person is stranded with a load of boxes in the middle of nowhere. Because if that happens at a con and you're, not in a place where you can take everything on a train or blah, 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 then they're properly royally fucked.
Yeah.
Right? But even then, if I were in that friend's place, I'd be like, make sure you can message someone to pick you up because you're on your own.
Yeah.
And in your own words, get fucked.
Get fucked. That's such a strong emotion. Like,
that is a very childish emotion. And especially to show those kind of ugly colors in front of another artist.
Yeah.
The way that artist talking to you was probably mortified that they talked to their helper like that.
Because surely that sort of behaviour, artists talk to artists.
Oh, 100%. Everyone in that artist alley would have known what they did.
Like, that person.
You better close up shop. You're never going to be looked at the same again.
Yeah.
You are literally going to be embarrassed.
You need to be embarrassed. You have to be embarrassed because, you're right. I think everyone will be like, see that table there? You know how he's on his own?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't on setup day. Let me tell you the goss. 100%. It's kind of really silly to me. And again, like, the way that story opened was that, I went with a friend, like your best friend. And I'm trying to understand. Setup day is stressful. There's a lot riding on it. You want to get stuff done. It's the first day before trading. You're usually tired because you've had to travel together. But even then, I can't think of a scenario where someone just genuinely asking, like, oh, that other thing that I did wrong? I don't want to do it wrong, like something wrong again. So, like, I want to ask a question. The idea of being like, I don't understand what could be spiraling inside you that you'd be like, you know what? Fuck you, basically. That's just such a...
So, full disclosure, right? I have been in situations where on setup, especially, even during con, but on setup, I am so anxious and high-strung that I need people to not speak to me.
Yeah.
Right? This has happened in Hyper Japan 2 years ago, where I was... a situation happened, don't want to rehash it today, but I was, like, physically shaking and heart palpitations. I was ready to full-on inside outrage, right? My mother, bless her heart, she is very much the kind of person who just keeps asking how she can help. And I just said, I really need you to give me 10, 15 minutes of not talking to me.
Yeah.
Right? And my mom doesn't know me in that work ambient or not as intensely as other people, especially not in that particular case, because it was the first time she was doing that event. And she was taken so aback. And Paul, who I've tabled with for so long, intercepted before she could even have a feeling in her face, express anything. And he said, actually, why don't you put your headphones on, put some music on, have a lap around, give yourself a second. I am going to finish doing what you were doing. And he stopped building his own setup.
Yeah.
In order for me to take a breath, and he was putting up the tablecloth and setting stuff up, blah, 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 so I can clear my head. That has become a bit of a recurring thing with me when I get anxious, right? My table helpers know to either they're about to take a walk or I'm about to take a walk. Not because I'm rude, but because the only way for me to get out of that headspace is to probably put some music on and not talk to anyone for like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And then I will feel dumb about the whole thing, and we will move on. And this isn't arguments. I'm not talking about me arguing with anyone. The situation with Tiber Japan was staff being rude to me.
Yeah.
The situation with when this happened at MCM was because they decided to essentially my table was here. Oop, let's not show my DMs. Let's not do that. My table was here, right? This is my table. The backing wall was here, right? And they decided to put a partition. You know, they put partitions between walls so they're sturdy, like this, into halfway through the table.
Yeah.
So I could sit here. The partition was touching me the whole time, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't get to this part of the table. And they said, well, that's how the map is. And I said, how do you think I can serve my customers by, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even access this whole part of my space. I need to go around every time. How is that going to happen in a busy event?
Yeah.
And I turned around, and one of the organizers was actually next to us, and she said, well, I don't think there is anything bad about this. And as soon as she said that, the way that my face and my literal hands just started going like this, she was like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm about to have a fucking meltdown. You need to fix that now. I'm literally feeling a panic attack.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, Rob turns up at the same time.
Yeah.
And he came with his little box of things to give me and went, nope. And walked away. You know, like, stress happens during setup and during con, yes, but it does not mean that you get a free pass to abuse people and then be like, oh, girl, I was stressed out. You need to, buckle up and ignore what happened, because that abuse is going to keep happening in this toxic friendship you're a part of.
Well, this is the thing, and like, it's all about just communicating. Like you said, in that situation, you needed to just step away from it, basically, or they did, or you did, and that was articulated in like, this is what needs to happen, because if I don't, then it will go somewhere. I don't want it to. I just need to take myself out of the situation. That's something I do a lot when dealing with situations where I don't want to escalate. I'm just like, if I take myself out, calm,
just walk away.
This person, if they were genuinely that stressed at the idea of someone being like, "Hi, how is this correct?" If just hearing that was so like, just snapped something inside, I would have just said like, I'm similar thing, like, just be like, I cannot answer any questions right now. I'm just like, this is not a good time. I appreciate it, but it's not a good time. I need to take a moment away. What they did instead is just go around and be like, if you can't do this, why don't you get fucked? Because I'm fascinated to know what they thought the outcome of that would have been. The person to go around, you're right, I should get fucked. I'm going to go over here and carry on. Because I didn't answer my question, by the way. So thanks very much for that. Kind of insane.
The way I would have stayed and just said that to their customers.
Yeah. You should be like,
did he put that badge button properly, or should he get fucked? Should that customer get fucked? And just haunt them with it until they apologized and begged.
Begged. They should beg.
Be embarrassed and beg.
What do you think the people of Reddit voted?
You know what? After the last answer we had, I don't trust the people of Reddit at the moment. So why don't you just tell me? Because I hope that they think the artist is the asshole, not the helper that did their best and were told to get fucked by their best friend.
Yeah. So, this person says, you're not the arsehole. If your friend is that particular about their display setup, they should have set it up before you arrived or made a step-by-step plan for you. You're a friend, not a paid employee. They chose to invite someone inexperienced and then punished you for not being a mind reader. If they can't handle that, maybe solo con setups are better for them in the future.
Highlight, paid employees still should not be told to get fucked.
Yeah.
Just so
Rule,
we're clear.
anyone out there who's in any form of job, don't think, oh, I get paid, so I can be abused.
I should be told to get fucked.
Yeah.
And obviously, this person in their original post said that they helped them get stuff out of the car and everything.
Yeah.
So, how could the artist set up before they arrived?
Yeah.
So I don't. This was a sure, Jan. Yes.
Someone said, not the arsehole, honestly, you were doing your best. They were under pressure. It was a clash of expectations. What you saw as checking in with them, they saw as needing hand-holding. It sounds like you both care, but your communication fell apart. If the friendship matters, maybe wait for another time and try talking again. I don't know. I feel like after that...
What is happening with this Reddit? What is this? Oh, let's excuse the abuser. Their expectations. We've got hand-holding. Get fucked. Hand-holding my ass. Can these people have no space being in an artist alley? I'm not saying you shouldn't be artists, right? I'll explain.
Go on, I'm curious.
The beautiful thing about, and this is factual. I need you to think about this in terms of, not me, because fuck this guy, old beard, right? Think about all the iconic people that you know at con, right? Their products are amazing, yes? But what actually makes them memorable? It is their personality. It is their people skills. It is their charisma, their charm. Even the shy ones, even the super shy ones that don't particularly like being in the spotlight. It is their charm and their uniqueness as an individual person that makes them successful and memorable artists, right? You can be a fantastic artist. I am sure that these bracelets are chef's kiss, right? These badge buttons, the best thing that Vogue Race has ever made for them. I'm sure. But if you have a terrible way how to communicate with people, if you are short-fused, if you need to excuse yourself for saying things like get fucked or, oh my god, let's give you something simpler, you're probably not good to be around customers. So all the people in this comment section, as well as this artist, probably great artists, but you shouldn't be in front of people. You shouldn't have social media where you discuss to the general audience, because one is not mutually exclusive to the other. You can be a fantastic artist and you have shit people skills. Or you can have amazing people skills, be a poor artist and still sell better. Because that is
so valid.
all what it actually takes.
So valid. I'll read the last comment that I picked out, which was, you're absolutely not the arsehole. You were volunteering your time, trying to help, and just asking reasonable questions so you could do the best job for them. If they had such a specific setup system, they should either communicate it clearly or just set it up themselves. Telling you to get fucked is completely out of line, friend or not. You did the right thing walking away.
Good. 100%. And again, I will emphasize again, everyone who has helpers, you need to keep photos of your setup so you don't get asked questions. And you're like, this is how they're done. This is the order. This is the placement. There's the box. There's the trays. Help yourself. Do not bother me for the next 15 minutes. That is also valid to say. Right? If I'm doing stickers and I need to focus on the sticker layout, I'm like, Jamie, can you put the t-shirts up? Once you're done, I need 10-15 minutes of not talking to anyone. Just let me get done with this part, because I'll get confused. It will make things difficult. That's it. Just be a people person or not be an event full of people. Very that.
Literally, and as you said already, like, it's just that case of, it's part of the business is interacting with people. So if you can't deal with people, reflect on that. What's your final...
what's really funny? One sec. You know what's really funny? Is that the people that come to us and talk to us and explain to us that they are not people persons. People persons, right? They have more charisma and more charm and more tact and more kindness than people in this comment section and the artists in this. Only because you don't see it, that you don't have, that you're shy and that you're socially awkward, blah blah blah. That does not mean that you don't take what I said as a maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. I'm over
PB, what is your final judgment?
Asshole. The artist is an asshole. The artist is an asshole. Do not go out of your way to help people that treat you like garbage.
Be embarrassed. Do you want our final one? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're so ready.
Am I going to be triggered like the last one from last time? Did you save the best for last?
So I always think the good one to end on is one written by the customer. Because the boat went so well last time. And did not upset you at all. No. And this person asked, am I the arsehole for wanting my D&D hoodie to be delivered in time for my next session? So I will go into more detail.
This is very triggering, considering I had this experience a couple of days ago. Go on.
This one. Let's just see what that time frame is, shall we? So, I went to a local convention not too long ago and came across a vendor selling a super cute D&D themed hoodie, specifically themed around being a DM. I'm currently running a campaign and thought it'd be the perfect thing to wear for the next session we had planned. The artist unfortunately did not have any in my size at their stall, but told me I could order it from their website. So that's exactly what I did on the following Monday. So let's keep dates in mind. So they ordered it on the Monday.
Yeah.
By Friday, I hadn't received any shipping info at all or confirmation.
Oh, no, it begins. Oh, the artist Amazon didn't reply to me on time.
So I sent an email that Friday just asking if the order had been dispatched yet. The artist replied saying the items were made to order and that it would take a little while to be printed and sent to them before they could ship it out to me.
20 days, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Fine, fair enough. I replied and said I understood, but since my next D&D session was on Wednesday, I asked if they could send it by next day as shipping when it was ready, and I was willing to pay extra for that. So they said, they were told on Friday, you can't have it yet because it's print to order. They said, that's fine. Can I have it Wednesday? By Tuesday, I had still heard nothing. So I sent another email, this one a little firmer, explaining that it had been over a week and there had been very little communication. The artist responded.
I'm sorry, go on.
The artist responded, saying the hoodie was now in production and they'd dispatch it as soon as it arrived. I responded that I still wanted the item, but I felt the lack of communication and the delay wasn't very professional.
Fuck off! Fuck off! Get fucked! Go and get fucked!
Finally, the hoodie arrived a whole week after the session I wanted it for. Inside... Girl, that's a fast turnaround. For a whole week after the session...
That is insane fast turnaround, actually.
So it arrived a whole week after the session I wanted it for. Inside was a note that said, and this is all in quotation, I hope you enjoy your item. If you'd like to return it, you can, but you'll be responsible for return shipping. That said, please do not order from me again. I am not Amazon.com. Maybe that's more your speed.
I am with you. Amazing! What the fuck?
I was honestly shocked. I feel
You reap what you sow, bitch. You made your bed.
I was honestly shocked. I feel like I was polite. I paid full price. I even offered extra for faster shipping. And now I'm being told not to order again? I thought the customer is always right was the
Nope.
kind of golden rule here. Was
Look.
I really being unreasonable? Am I the arsehole for expecting a hoodie in a reasonable time and being frustrated when it didn't arrive?
Reasonable time. Oh god. I would hope I would love to be that artist, right? I would love to have the actually, you know what? This is inspiring. I should start writing notes to my customers. 100%. I would love to start writing notes to my customers, mostly because most of them would be embarrassed. But amazing. I would hope that that person would come back to the con again and be like, "Oh, do you remember this note? Why would you blah, 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 blah?" And schooled, crazy. Can you read the replies, please?
Yes, okay. So the general consensus was, shockingly, that yes, this person was the asshole. One person said, "You're the asshole. You emailed multiple times within a week of ordering a made-to-order hoodie. That's not Amazon Prime. It's a small independent artist who probably doesn't have the resources to offer 24/7 customer service. They explained the timeline, and you still pushed. Honestly, the note was a bit petty, but I get where they're coming from. Artists are not machines."
I am so going to start putting notes in. Only to the bad guys. The good guys sometimes already get notes. I sometimes send little cute heart postcards. Yeah,
One person says, "I know you're excited and I get wanting something for a special day, but you probably overstepped here. Handmade will mean delays. You sent multiple messages within just days, and the final unprofessional message might have been them setting a boundary after feeling pressured. Supporting small creators means accepting a different pace." I managed to find one of the few comments that said that someone wasn't the arsehole.
Oh god. Oh god.
Not the arsehole. If someone is running a business and taking people's money, they should communicate delays up front, not after you chase them. You were even willing to pay for faster shipping. That final note for them was completely unprofessional and childish. You're not asking for Amazon service, just basic communication.
Basic communication, because this is so funny. Okay, you know what, for full transparency, I am going to let you know my situation that happened literally this fucking week, right? So I had an order made for 3 t-shirts, right? As you know, as people know, maybe they don't know, I am letting you know right now, I don't keep stock at home of t-shirts. I live in a fucking 3-room flat. I am not going to have room to make. Oh my god, I literally have stock boxes in this room covering literally,
Yeah.
right? There is no more space to hold your t-shirt design in your size just in case you decide to order it once in a blue moon. It just doesn't happen. I order my t-shirts once a month, and this is explained on the website. When you go click buy, I love that t-shirt, I'm gonna go buy it. There's a massive disclaimer that says once a month I order t-shirts for the website. It takes up to 4 weeks, 20 working days, because that is literally what is written down on the manufacturer's page, right?
Yeah.
They legally could have other people's orders in, right? It's not, there isn't a factory just that makes Gilbon t-shirts. That would be crazy. Amazing, but crazy.
Be very cool,
right?
but yes.
So 20 days, and once I get them, which obviously takes a day or two because shipping, and then unpacking it and I'm shipping it, it is going to arrive to you. So generally, the latest ever that a t-shirt can take is 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that shocking? Yes. Could you get it off of Amazon sooner, faster? 100% yes.
Yeah.
But that is a disclaimer that is written down on my website, right?
Yeah.
So I got this email letting me know that they had waited long enough and they would like to have a refund for their t-shirts. Yeah. And I said, I will point out that there is a disclaimer that explains the process, which I re-explained, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their reply was, well, I just don't understand why there was no communication about you throughout this process. Bitch, I'm sorry. Do you think I have nothing to do and I'm going to be like, today I'm going to email this customer. How are you doing? I haven't received your t-shirt yet, but it's in production. How's your day? What is that DM session going to be about? Tell me. I promise I won't tell your players. How stupid! What the fuck? Oh, I have nothing to do. I'm just going to randomly email customers to let them know the individual status of orders. You condescending pricks. Fuck. Anyway, so this customer was then reminded that, you know, I have a life. And they said that they had waited for the full 20 days of production of the t-shirt. In fact, they had waited a little bit more. It was like 24 working days. So why did they not have it? Because once a month does not necessarily mean the day you order, I'm going to make an order for you. You know what I mean? That is not how businesses work. Oh my God. Anyway, long story short, I gave this person a refund and I got rid of the situation, basically.
Yeah. I think, again, it's this repeated thing of people not understanding how small businesses work. And
They don't. They have absolutely no concept of manufacturing times, of space, of anything other than their own preconceived notion of what buying online is, which is mostly through Amazon, right? And if something goes wrong, and I will again keep on admitting, because why not? I'm judging all the other people. Might as well people judge me, right? I have made mistakes and accidentally not ordered someone's sweater from one order to another, and they had to wait months. I will fully admit to that. I packed a whole bunch of goodies and apologized a million times.
You did, yeah.
But it does happen. Small businesses, one person managing the whole thing.
This is the thing, it's the whole thing. And
do not communicate about your hoodie, get fucked.
What was so wild to me was the fact that she felt like she had waited long enough for this t-shirt, which was the 5th working day. She said, where is it? What's happening? That's crazy to me in itself. She then
did they think that they were producing it themselves?
Well, I'm not sure because I thought that at first, and I thought maybe this is what spurred their next response, but it can't be, because if they emailed this artist and the artist replied saying, "Oh, these are all made to order, and it takes I have to wait for it to be made and shipped to me before I can post it on," that literally is explaining, I don't make them. They come to me. I don't sell them. So the person then replies saying, "Oh, it's made to order. Okay, that's cool. Well, I guess if you dispatch it next day delivery on Tuesday, I'll get it in time." What? Like, do you not... Oh, it's not ready yet, but it will be ready in the next 2 working days. Like, I don't think they... Because at first of all, or maybe they think they're just doing it at home, but that person clearly explains where it's coming from. So I think not only do the customer doesn't understand how a small business works, but doesn't understand just the general concept of ordering stock and how long that takes. I guess because if you order it now, you'll have it tomorrow, right? Like, no, like it's actually insane to me, and
exasperating. Customers are exasperating. Not all of you.
Not all
that 1%. That
1% who go on Reddit.
so much. They're so extra that they make the rest of the 99% less audible. Well, that's the entire planet, isn't it?
Well, yes, that is very true. How do you generally feel about an artist actually saying, you know what, I'm feeling petty, I'm going to write a note and stick it in the parcel?
So I have never done that. I have never actually written a note to a customer in the thing. Obviously, I joked about, I should start doing that. I have written positive notes, especially when people leave customer comments. And they're like, "Oh, I met you at this convention. It was so lovely meeting you. I'm placing this order." I usually take one of my postcards and
Yeah.
write to the back a nice little message back, and I leave a goodie or two in the parcel. I'm going to dodge the question a little bit about what I think the implication is about leaving that kind of message. I will say I have banned people from my shop. And I have done so on the back end of my website without even telling them sometimes.
Yeah.
I just don't want your custom anymore, and I can't be asked to talk to you, so you're just blocked from my shop, really. Your address and your... As soon as the system sees that delivery address, or as soon as it sees that email or that payment method, it will just say, no,
it doesn't work.
It won't accept it, right? And it happened multiple times over the years. There's many a reason why I have chosen to just refund a customer. I will say that despite my outburst about the situation that happened this week, it was resolved amicably, because at the end of the day, the 3 t-shirts that this person chose were things that I can take to MCM with me.
Yeah.
They're there right now. And usually, if something is in the process of being produced, I wouldn't have refunded it. I would be like, it's going to arrive in less than a week and you're going to get it. I'm sorry. If you want to try and... Because this person also decided to threaten me with a legal situation. I'm like...
Yeah.
When people use certain language, you already know they're coming from a place of being a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there are so many ways to come across a topic. And it's
like
crazy.
when they say what you do is hobbycraft.
Basically. But anyway, that situation was resolved amicably. But there have been cases where people have complained about the slightest of things. And they do end up escalating it to PayPal. And PayPal tells them, you're the asshole. Right? And then they expect to not, like, they still insist. They still insist. They're still like, oh, well, I know my rights. Well, go on. Do something about it then. Because you're just being petty.
Yeah.
Right?
For the sake of it, yeah.
And in that final email, I'm like, well, you do what you need to do. In the meantime, your custom is no longer appreciated in my online shop and at in-person events. Please do not approach me or my shop any further. Bye. Right? That is one way to do it. This person leaving the negative note, salty, but I 100%, that is where I see where they're coming from. 100%. Salty, but deserved. Well done.
This is the thing, like, would I ever do that? I don't think I would ever do that. Am I glad that someone else has done that? Yes. I am.
100%.
Like,
justice.
Reading it for the first time, I was like, that is so satisfying.
That is super satisfying. Well done.
Like,
that was actually really satisfying. I'm really glad that they did it.
Kind of calculated in a way, in the sense, like, I'm going to put it in the notes so that when you see how I really feel about you not wanting your custom, it's when the items arrived, so you can't do anything about it. You've got it now. Like, if you want to return it, fine, but you've got to pay postage. But I'm not going to say anything until it gets to you, in case you suddenly say, well, I don't want it anymore. Like, no, you've got it now.
Yep. Yep. I will admit, and people might love me or hate me for this, I am very strict with shop orders and online orders and stuff like that. There's people who refuse to try on a t-shirt at a convention, or refuse to see the size, or just don't really give a shit, and they're like, oh yeah, that looks fine. And then they're like, oh, do you mind if I return it and you ship another one out? And you pay for both shipping. No, I don't. No. I'm not going to do that. If you want to hold on to it and bring it back at the next event, then maybe. Yeah. But I'm not paying for it. You can pay for it. It's your mistake, not mine.
Yeah. That's the nature of these sort of products. The entitlement
Crazy.
is all these people, all this entitlement, crazy.
It is. It
So
is. Literally, the theme of most of these stories is I am entitled prick, or my friend was an entitled prick.
entitled prick.
Help me out. Which one of us is the most entitled?
That's what it should be. Am I entitled?
Am I the entitled? That is it.
I'm gonna say yes. While the artist was probably being a bit more savage than they needed to be, but at the same time, kind of asked for it. Expecting to get a t-shirt in less than a week that is made to order is crazy, but more so your response is, and you're chasing this poor person repeatedly, being like, it's been a day, where is it? Like, you just need to, you are the arsehole in this situation. Not the worst arsehole we've ever seen on this podcast, but definitely arsehole category. What's PB's official verdict there as judge and juror?
Be embarrassed. Be so embarrassed. Chasing someone down after a couple of days with, oh, I didn't get a notification. There's no communication. You're going to have to pay me a lot more than that for me to be communicating with you. I am not your call girl, bitch.
Also, the person who wrote, I want to say this because I realized I didn't really mention it. The person who wrote this and also the person who agreed with them and saying they weren't the arsehole, both touched on this concept of poor communication. From what I've read, they replied to every email you sent. Where is the poor communication?
The poor communication, which was told to me this week, is that I didn't preemptively tell the customer when in advance the product is going to be sent out. Imagine having an online store, running it on your own, designing the products, going to conventions, but also finding time to email every individual customer to let them know when they should be expecting. Bunch of wankers! Crazy. Just don't shop online. Don't shop from small businesses. It is actually better for us not to get these kind of customers than get their money.
Yeah. Yes.
It is better. I'd rather have my mental sanity than have shitty customers.
Deal with that. I think it's very valid, and I think I hope next time this person goes to a convention, because they originally saw this product at a con, and they look at these things, I hope if they see an item and they don't have it in the size they want, I hope they just go, you know what? It's not meant to be.
It's not meant to be.
This is meant to be. It's fine.
That's it.
And
it's not for me.
But I think generally, and we've said this before, the vast majority of people who are customers are explosion, bang. The vast majority of customers are actually really good, and the fact that I think 100%. A lot of them also go with the mentality, because this would be my mentality, is if I want something enough, but I want it beyond the con weekend, like I've passed that window, that impulse purchase, that sort of window, like, ooh, thing in front of me, I want it now. If I still want that thing, I'm willing to wait for it. And the majority of the customers that do these sort of online orders do wait, because they've gone past that window of like, I need it now. They're like, no, I just genuinely want this product. So, and they are therefore willing to understand the fact that you've got to order it, you've got to print it, ship it, whereas this person, even though they've moved past the con, they still have that sort of like, I need it right now mentality. And it's like, well, no, this isn't how this works. So, luckily, most customers that, not every customer's like that. Thank goodness. Can you imagine?
No, far from. 99.9% of my customer base, especially, lovely people. Absolutely love each and every one of you. You're all very patient with me, especially because I do everything on my own, and I do it at a very random and sporadic time when it comes to my online sales and stuff. Bless you for having that patience. But those odd stories, crazy.
So
Crazy.
today we have had an artist who told people maybe she doesn't want to get on their level. We've had a friend who wasn't able to go to MCM London, which is ironic for when this episode comes out.
Yeah.
We have a person who was told to get fucked when helping out their friend at a convention, and we have, as always, a delightful customer who didn't quite understand how small businesses work online. Who would you say was the biggest asshole of the week?
Ooh. The biggest asshole of the week is George.
Ah!
George, be embarrassed and get fucked. You give the art community a bad name, and anyone who does like you, who harasses other people of how they manage their art, how they manage their presentation, how they run their own business, and so on, you can all be embarrassed. Get fucked, which is like the term of this episode, and you're the asshole, buddy.
I would, you know what? Actually, my answer is a bit different. I think the asshole of all the stories so far were the people in the comment section of the friend who got left from London and their complete inability to sympathise with another human being. They're the asshole.
They are the asshole. The Reddit people are the asshole this episode.
The people who were commenting on these Reddit threads are the asshole, in my opinion, this week.
Yeah, may they all have had shags while they're sharing hotel rooms and be like, I know what's happening here. That was me last week. Crazy.
We've come to the end. That's our last Reddit story. We've come to the end of another one. Again, crazy stories.
They have been wildin'. And if this episode makes it to Reddit, which at this point I hope it does, I hope that the people of Reddit come here and link us to their favorite Am I the Asshole artist stories, just so we can react to them. We want you, Reddit people, 100%. The connoisseurs of the assholage that is happening on Reddit, to present stories to us and tell us what you think of this one.
Yes, because I am...
And we can tell them... be embarrassed.
Yes, I am trawling the internet and trawling Reddit to find these stories, and I am not a Reddit user. I'm not one of the people who are in there every day. So I know there are people who are watching this who it's their lifeblood. So you probably already know the perfect story we should react to. So absolutely leave it in the comments. If you're listening anywhere else, then reach out to us via those whatever portal there is, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. We have all the contact details in that episode description. So you should still reach out to us and go, I have the perfect story for you, because we want to hear it. We 100% want to hear it. If you are listening to this after meeting us at MCM London, hello, you want to find out more about us, then you need to go to theconcreatives.com, where you can find all of our social media channels. They're all listed there, as well as all the other venues you might want to listen to this podcast on as well. What else do we have on the website? I've completely forgotten, because it's like my brain's already in MCM London crazy mode. We have a variety of different companies that we collaborate with who help us and make the products that you love so much. So do check out that part of our website. And we also have a little shop, because we know that if you purchase through our shop, you will not be like the woman in that Reddit story, because you're good people. You're good people if you're listening to this podcast. So do check out. Are we just
deciding that these are all women now?
People, they're good people.
You just said a woman and her, but the story never specifies.
I guess in my head she was a woman. Yes. Wow. You know why?
Because misogynist.
Every time I see read these stories like this, I just picture a really, really bitter mother for some reason. It's always a bitter mother.
Yeah, because we're traumatized from the first episode.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, but I don't think the bitter mother is a DM.
Ooh, good point.
He had a lot of entitled DM energy.
You are so right, aren't you? You're so right.
I don't know. It's a day. They're a day to me until they decide to share their pronouns.
Very true. But yes, if you want to go to our shop and support us there, because we know you won't be like the crazy things we've heard in our Reddit stories, And again, if you're listening to any of us, if you're listening to us on any of these platforms that have a rating system, please rate us 5 stars, because it costs you nothing and helps us so much, because we appreciate it. And we can't wait to get to know all the new family of the podcasts we have met over this weekend. So welcome to the fray. Welcome as a fellow conventioneer to our group.
Henry says hello as well in the background.
Henry says hello.
You're very lucky.
Until next time, where we're already in the midst of another convention as we're going.
We literally are. We're
taking no breaks.
From one to another.
Yeah.
And actually, this was a massive mistake, because we're not at MCM right now. This is the week after UK Games Expo. Or rather, we're at UK Games Expo right now.
We're somewhere. We're somewhere right now.
We're recording everything.
Could you tell this is a bulk record? Oh my goodness.
No, you can't tell, because we're dressed differently.
Oh.
Oh, wait, Jamie is... Wow. Someone get him a wardrobe. Agent, I need more clothes.
I don't know what you mean. This shirt is a completely different colour to the previous time you think you may have seen it. Until the next episode, whatever week of the calendar month that is, have a great week, and we will see you then. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh my god, we're so bad.
The Convention Creatives podcast is hosted by Gilles Bone and Jay Eggman. Art and design is by Gilles Bone, and editing and production is by Jay Eggman. To find out more, visit www.theconcreatives.com.